Dear students, you are heartily welcome to the National University online class. I am Mohammad Khairuজ্জামান, an assistant professor of English, will be with you for the next 40 minutes. And we will take the class with you on 16th and 17th century poetry. The title name is John Donne. The name of the poem is Death Be Not Proud, and a discussion on important questions that are very common for the next examination. And I hope you will attend the class and obviously with me for the next 40 minutes and enjoy the lecture. Dear students, welcome to the National University online class. During this pandemic, I feel proud to be the part of this National University online class lecture as a resource person. Please maintain the health rules. Let us start. Death Be Not Proud. This is a sonnet written by John Donne. So at first, we should discuss what is sonnet. Actually, a sonnet is a lyric poem. A sonnet is a lyric poem of 14 iambic pentameter line. Sonnet is of mainly three types: Petrarchan sonnet, Shakespearean sonnet, Spenserian sonnet. The rhyme scheme of Petrarchan sonnet is A B B A, A B B A, A B B A, C D C D C D, or C D E C D. Or different in some cases you find C D C D E or C D D C E. Death Be Not Proud is a Petrarchan sonnet, though a couplet is found here. It is a simple variation. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A B B A, A B B A, C D D C E E. Okay. So at first we wanted to know what actually iambic pentameter means, and a sonnet consists of 14 lines. The first 8 lines is called octave, and the next 6 lines are called sestet. So let us identify how we can ensure that it is a sonnet and it is a Petrarchan sonnet. Okay. Holy sonnet, Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. Death be not proud, though some have called thee, mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy picture be, much pleasure then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, best of their bones and souls delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, king, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war and sickness dwell, and popular charms can make us sleep as well, and better than thy stroke, why swellst thou then? One short sleep past we wake eternally, and death shall be no more, death thou shalt die. Okay, we move line by line. At first we will find that there is 14 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The first 8 line in left row, we find here 8 line. These 8 lines stitched togetherly called octave, and the next, these 6 lines togetherly called sestet. Okay, we have found that the poem consists of 14 lines. Next, what is the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme, at first we find the sound D. We can take D sound, D, A. Next, the last sound of the next line is so. So, and D is different. So, we can take the new one, here is B. Okay, overthrow, so, throw, the similar sound. So, we can take there B. Me and D is similar. So, we can take there A. What we have found here? A, B, B, A. In this way, B and D is similar, so we can take their A. Flow, so similar, so we can take their B. Go, flow, similar, so we can take their B. Delivery, B. Delivery, B is similar, so we can take their A. So we also found their A, B, B, A. Okay. Man, the new sound, we can take their C. Dwell, the new one, so we can take their D. Well and dwell is same sound, so we can take their D. Then and man is same, so we can take their C. Eternally, eternally, we have not found the same sound before, so we can take a new one, E. And die is the same of eternally, die. About the same, so we can take that E. And in this way, B, B, A, C, D, D, C, E. This is the rhyme scheme of the poem. So we find here the rhyme scheme. It is followed by the rhyme scheme of Petrarch. So it is a Petrarchian sonnet. Now let us discuss iambic pentameter. What is iambic actually? Iambic is a meter. It refers to when an unstressed syllable is followed by an unstressed syllable. Means the first one is unstressed and the second one is stressed. When the two sounds, we find that first one is unstressed and second one is stressed. And unstressed and stressed, the two sounds togetherly constitutes a single meter, which is called iambic. When the unstressed syllable is followed by stressed syllable, just the opposite of iambic is called trochaic. And in this way, there are other forms of meter, iambic, trochaic, spondic, pedic, amphibrach, etc. As we need only iambic pentameter, so we'll discuss iambic meter. We find here, so what we find here? When unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable is called iambic. And the two sounds togetherly is called a single meter. So we define the syllable at first. Death is a single syllable, B is a single syllable. Not a single syllable, proud a single syllable. Though single syllable, some single syllable. Have single syllable, call single syllable, call. Ed যখন উচ্চারণ হয়, whenever ed is pronounced, then there is a break and we have taken new breath. A single breath, a single syllable. So we find here a new breath. So this is also a syllable. Ed, it, and t. And thus we find here that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This way we find that my t, two syllable here. And dread, 1, 2 syllable. Full, for, 2 syllable. Thou art, two syllable, not so two syllable. So here two syllable consists a single meter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we find it penta. And as unstressed syllable is followed by an unstressed syllable, so it is called iambic. And now we can see that it is written on iambic pentameter, and obviously it is a sonnet. Now let us move forwards line by line to have a discussion about the theme of the poem. Okay. Death be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful. Actually, here the speaker asks death not to feel proud, though some people have called the death mighty and dreadful because it takes our lives away. For thou art not so, but the speaker says that the death is not more powerful. For those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow, die not poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. For those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow. Though some people think that death can overthrow anyone's life and can take away life, but the speaker says, die not poor death. He calls the death is very poor. He is not strong, he is not powerful, he is not mighty, nor yet canst thou kill me. Even death can't kill him, because the life of people can't be totally damaged by the death. So he says that death is poor. He can't kill the speaker actually. So we find that the death here is personified as a person, and his power, according to the poet, is very low and weak. From rest and sleep, death is like rest and sleep. Which bird thy picture be? If anyone wants to find what is death, actually, death cannot be seen. Whenever anyone dies, then after his death, a man is found dead. He is lying on the floor or anywhere and fall flat and becomes like a man who is sleeping on the bed. So there is no difference between a sleeping man and death. So the speaker and the poet here just presents the death as a sleep and rest picture. Much pleasure, then from the much more must flow. And he says that after death, one get much pleasure, and from the much must flow. And soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and souls delivery. Rest of their bones and souls delivery. After death, our total body remains in rest and souls is delivered to God. So death has nothing had to do to him. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men. Thou art slave to fate. Thou art slave to fate means death is slave to fate, chance, kings, because death only can't kill anyone. Rather, sometimes men die because of fate, and chance sometimes makes one die. Kings sometimes order and ensure the death of some people by killing them. And desperate men also sometimes kill them. So only death or slave. Death is considered as here is very, so far I think, hopeless, and he is not enough strong to kill someone. Rather, he is slave to fate, he is slave to chance, he is slave to king, and he is slave to desperate man. And dosed with poison, word, and sickness dwell. And sometimes someone die taking poison, and someone die in word, and sometimes die in disease. So death is not only powerful because men die by different ways, and they are poison, war, and sickness. And whenever anyone dies, he is looked like a person who lies in bed in sleep, Like as whenever anyone takes poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. After taking poppy, oh, he feels drowsiness, and sometime later he sleeps. So what's the difference between the sleep of poppy or sleep of death? Rather, it is charming. And better than the stroke, why souls thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally. Here, the speaker says, one short sleep past. One short sleep past is short sleep, then we wake eternally. After death, there will justly by begin, and death shall be no more, but death will not come. Death will not be revived. So, death has no power. Death, thou shalt die. Death, thou shalt die. Death will have to take the test of death, but he will be transformed and he will be revived again. So here the speaker rebukes death and considers death as low powerful and less powerful. Okay, dear students, you find that actually the total main theme of the poem is that death is not considered as the most powerful one, and rather the speaker here is more powerful than death, because he has the chances to take the test of death and to get the chance to revive again. But death can't do anything. Whether fate, chances, sting, war, poison, sickness can kill men, and death will not be revived, rather it will be vanished, but he will be revived again and he will be resurrected again. Okay, thank you. We move next. So we discussed in the last two class and the present class the 5 poems of John Donne that have been designed for you as text in the title, paper title, 16th and 17th century poetry. Now we are going to discuss about the important questions that are very important for you in this year, and you have to take good preparation for the examination. And what are the questions? First one, metaphysical traits in Donne's poetry. It's a very important question. Use of wit and conceit. It is very similar to metaphysical traits because wit and conceits are included to metaphysical traits. So there are very much similarity between the two questions. The another one is lending passion and thought. Lending passion and thought. Lending passion and thought means the passions, the speaker in his poems, love poems, he expresses his passions using an excellent thoughts, means using argumentative expressions. And whenever you will write the poem, you will discuss the 3 love poems of John Donne, and the answer will be excellent one. The last one is John Donne is a religious poem. The religious attitude is found in his poem. In which poem? In Better My Heart. So I will just show you what is the theme of the poems and how you will give the answer in the 4 questions. The first one, the sun rising. The sun rising, whenever wit and conceit, the question, if you will get the questions, then you will discuss the sun rising poem. And here you will find that wit and conceit. And also you will get the answer, passion and thought. Because in the love poems, he expresses his love and passion using conceits and argumentative expression. So blending passion and thought you will get in this poem. A valediction forbidding morning is also a love poem, and you will get here wit and conceit and passion and thought. So whenever this you will get the questions, then you will just discard this poem and you will your answer will be correct one. The canonization is another love poem, and you will get here wit and conceit and also passion and thought. And you will, if you just write the answer wit and conceit and passion and thought, you have to answer through the light of the 3 poems: the sun rising, valediction forbidding morning, and canonization. If you will able to discuss about the 3 poems and just show the conceits and wit, you will be able to complete the answer wit and conceit. And you can also answer passion and thought, just writing the theme of the 3 poems. because in each three poems, every three poems, the poet discusses his passion in high thought using conceits and read. So you will get the two answers from the three poems. Next one, Better My Heart. Better My Heart is a religious poem. If the question you will get that consider John Donne as a religious poet, you can write the holy sonnets, but only two sonnets you will get, Better My Heart and Death Be Not Proud. So here you can write Better My Heart is a religious poem and Death Be Not Proud is also a religious poem. If you get the question, John Donne is a religious poet, you will discuss the two poems. Then your answer will be a proper one. Okay, dear students, we are moving forward. Okay. Metaphysical poetry, the first question, metaphysical poetry. What you will write on the answer script. Metaphysical poetry began early in the Jacobean age. John Donne was the leader and founder of metaphysical poetry. Dr. Johnson firstly ascribed title metaphysical poet. The followers of John Donne are George Herbert, Henry Vaughan, Andrew Marvell, Richard Preshaw, John Cleveland, Abraham Cowley, and few others. They are the metaphysical poets. So you will write the John Donne, and also who entitled him first as a metaphysical poet, and also the followers. You can write them. Okay. Next, main characteristics of metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry, the main characteristics are given below. The first one is metaphysical poetry. Actually, each poem is lyrical. And number two, complicated lyrical stanza. Lyrical stanza complicated. Sometimes you will find that the stanza consists of 9 lines, sometimes 10 lines. And these are the variations. Poetic style is startling in sudden beauty. Just think in canonization, you will find that for God's sake, let me love. And this is the sudden beginning. And this sudden beginning, you will find that this is a sudden beauty of, and which is used in metaphysical poem, and it is an excellent beauty of the poem. So poetic style is startling and in sudden beauty. You find abrupt beginning, the same of sudden beauty, actually abrupt beginning. You just think that it starts with a middle, but not the very beginning. So this is abrupt, and it's also dramatic beginning. Use of colloquial speech means dialect, different type of dialects. Means shalt, thou, thee, such kind of colloquial languages are used in the poem. You will get a lot of colloquial speeches. Argumentative presentation of emotion. Argumentative presentation of emotion means argumentative presentations. You find that all the 5 poems of John Donne are just presented using conceits and wit, and he shows the different ways how to show his love. In his different poems, he shows different far-fetched ideas to prove his love to his beloved. And in this case, we find that arguments, and using these arguments, he proves that his love is real and pure, and his love is better than anything. And this spiritual love is shown using argumentative expressions of emotions. Next, we find terseness of expression. Terseness of expressions means brief expression, the expression that is brief, but if a reader goes through the poem, he has to think, and he has a scope to think of vast. And so he writes in a brief and using terseness, and we find the same terseness qualities in Francis Bacon. In Francis Bacon, we find pragmatic quality, means terseness in expression, and we find also the same terseness of expression in John Donne. Physical love leading to spiritual love. Physical love leading to spiritual love. He and his beloved is existed in the world, and he has physique, and his beloved also has physique, and they are human beings. But their love, though they love each other, just as a human being, but actually they are not willing to uh, just unite themselves, forgetting sexual pleasure or physical pleasure. Rather, they want to feel each other with their soul, and they enjoy the real love of each other, and thus he just lead physical love to spiritual love. And according to spiritual love is pure, and it is much, and it is more than anything and any other love in the world. Wheat is the dominant feature. Wheat, he uses wheat, and it is the quality of Jondan. For using conceits, he has to use his excellent wit, and for his witty expressions, he is much admired by the by John Dryden, and also uh, Samuel Johnson. However, now we find that dominant feature is wheat. The canonization can be cited to highlight the use of wheat. Canonization, if you have already read the poem and you have got the idea about the use of two compass to show the two lover and beloved's love, and this is an excellent conceit that has been used by John Donne, and it is really very witty. Conceit is another remarkable feature to metaphysical poetry. Conceits have been comparatively good used in benediction forbidding morning. In benediction forbidding morning, you find that conceit is used, and very much used to show actually the love between he and his beloved, and he highlights them with different type of concerts. And really, they are very, very uncommon and far-fetched idea, but actually they just draw attention to the reader. Such kind of concepts are rarely used in the poem, and he's the first one who used such kind of concepts in poems. The canonization is the best example of abrupt beginning. We already said it, that for God's sake, let me love. He asks his friends not to disturb him, not to interfere him, because he is actual lover, and he wants to love his beloved more and more, and he doesn't want to anyone interfere him, and this is a abrupt beginning. Colloquial speeches are ample in Donne's poem. Colloquial speech, you find that the dialect, local dialect. So if you just write down the points and you discuss all the points by giving some example from by quoting some lines from the poem, you will be able to make the answers perfectly. Next. The questions: blending passions, thought, combine emotion and intellect. Okay. Blending passion and thought, combining emotion and intellect. Donne's love poems are emotional, but deep thoughts are used to present his emotion. Donne's love poems are emotional, and deep thoughts are used to present his emotion. This is a blending. How? Because he shows his love, emotions, but he expresses his love not like the common people. Just he uses concepts and words. And for using concepts and words, these expressions has been blended with thoughts. Emotions and thoughts are blended by the use of conceit and wit. And this is the keynote that you should highlight if you get the questions and you have to write the answer. In the sun rising, he has rebuked the sun with words. In the sun rising, he has rebuked the sun with words. He asked the sun to awake the apprentices, to awake the late school boys, to awake the courtsmen as the king is ready to hunt. And this way he rebukes the sun. These are the very uncommon thoughts, but it is really very important whom he should identify that should maintain their duty. So the son is asked not to disturb his beloved and him as they are involved in their love. So don't hesitate, don't interfere him. Rather, the son should awake the others. And in this way, by using it, he rebukes son. He claims his beloved all states, and he is all princes. He claims his beloved all the states, all wealth in the world, and he is the prince of all. So they are all in the world. What a wit he has used to dignify Islam. In this way, he shows that his beloved is everything in the world, and he is the king of the world, and his beloved is the king. His beloved is the kingdom, means the total world, and he is the king of the kingdom. Thus, he shows that their love is unique, and this is the way he dignified Islam. We find twin compass is another example of wit to unwrap their emotional love. Twin compass. This is really very rare conceit and very, very excellent concepts that you find that the compass can be used as the metaphoric idea of the love between lover and beloved. This is really very interesting and very witty. Next, you find the separation of lover is compared with the death of virtuous. The separation of lover is compared to the death of virtuous. And the virtuous people who are devoted to God, they live, separate the world, they part from the world, but they have no sorrows. Rather, they are very happy to live the world because they know that God will give them very, very much valuable prices in the afterworld. So they live the world with a happy mood. In this way, he says that he and his beloved, they love each other so spiritually and so much purely that they will live the world, and their love will be, after that death, their love will be the part of their Haim, and the next generation will make a tune of Haim for the love of the speaker and his beloved, and they will live the world like the saints. It is another way to prove his emotion. Okay, dear students, now we move to the last questions. John Donne is a religious poet. John Donne is a religious poet. How we discuss it? We read 2 poems. Holy Sonnet. One is Better My Heart, and another is Death Not Be Proud. These 2 holy sonnets are actually written on the days of religious attitude. If we discuss Better My Heart, we will find an excellent idea about the religious attitude of the poet to God. John Donne is a devotee to God. He believes in God, and he always tries to satisfy God by maintaining the path of religion. Christ, God. But he urges God, in spite of maintaining the path of religion, he asks God to purify him, to make him more pure, because he thinks that he is surrounded and encircled by Satan and bad activities. So he asks God to make him pure, to make him encircled with the supervision and umbrella of God. not to give him the chance to free to do any kind of evil deeds. Okay, let us discuss. The poem is a plea. The Better My Heart is a poem. It is a plea for God to enter and take over the poet's life and thus save him from the power of Satan. He asks God to enter into him and take over poet's life and thus save him from the power of Satan. He asks and urges and requests God to save him. Here, three persons refer to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost to better his heart. Three persons. Actually, this will be a person. It is a mistake. Here we find the printing mistake D. Actually, here it should be S. Okay. Here, three persons refer to Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And he requests God to make him pure. The speaker is a constant sinner. Here the speaker says that he is a constant sinner and wants God to make him new, free and pure. Wants God to make him new, free and pure. Make him new as he is old one and he is surrounded by the evil activities, and make him free and pure. Okay. Now we'll discuss the theme of the poem. Better My Heart. In Better My Heart, you find that the speaker is a constant sinner and wants God to make him new, free and pure. The speaker wants God to break, blow and burn him. Break, blow and burn him. Actually, he wants God to reshape him. The Father, the Son and the Holy Ghost to better his heart. He urges God to ravish his body and make him chaste. To ravish his body and make him chaste. He is sunk in the tank of sin. He is sunk in the tank of sin. Means he is flooded with sin. And method of persuasion is not going to work on him. Nothing works on him. And he can't make himself free from such kind of activities. So he asks God to knock at him, blown his breath through his billows, and lighted the fire of his love and mercy to purify him and reshape him. He asks God to give him mercy, to purify him and reshape him. So God should overthrow the poet and bend his force to break, blow, and make him new and free from sin. Make him new and free from sin. Okay? He is like another town whose duty is to serve God, but he is occupied by the devil. Actually, he is occupied by the devil, so he wants God to save him. He has engaged with God's enemy. He wishes divorce, as he thinks that he is a woman who is unwillingly married Satan and made a marriage bond. And he asks God he wants to divorce Satan. He wants to divorce Satan. And he wishes divorce to unite or break the nuptial knot. And he requests God to imprison him. He requests God to imprison him in his mercy, so that he could be purified. In this way, he asks God to purify him, and through the light of the discussion, we find that John Donne is actually a religious poet who had the faith in God, who had the belief in God, and he wanted to free him from all kind of evil activities, and he urges God not to, he urges God to give him mercy, and he urges God to make him compel in his mercy so that he will not get the chance to do any kind of evil things and not to be involved with Satan or evil activities. And in this way, he proves that he is actually a religious-minded man and his writings proves that he is a religious poet, and thus we can obviously and without any doubt we can say that John Donne is a religious poet. If in this way you will answer the questions, so far I think you will get good marks. And in this case, you have to quote some lines from the poems. The first one is Better My Heart, and the next one is Let Not Be Proud. And you just quote some lines and you will discuss it and analyze it. And in this way, you will give the excellent answer. So dear students, we have discussed the 4 questions and answers from John Donne, and you will get 2 questions in the questions paper from John Donne from the 4 questions so far I think. So you will take a good preparation, and so far I think you will not miss the class, and you obviously give concentration on your study and take a good preparation for the examination. Though we are now all confined within our 4 walls because of the attack of COVID-19, and this pandemic has compelled us to not to move in our institution to continue our classes, but obviously we can surely say that this COVID has not enabled to make us compelled to make us disappointed. Rather, we are very enthusiastic and we are very much interested in our learning, and we will continue our study through our attendance of online classes and make a preparation and not waste your time in vain. Dear students, thank you to be with us for last 40 minutes, and you are heartily welcome for the next class, and the class will be found on the title of 16th and 17th century poetry, and the name of the author and the poet is Andrew Marvell. And I hope you will not miss the class and be with me. And you are heartily welcome for the next class. And I'm Mohammad Khairuzzaman, an assistant professor of English, Government Devendra College, Manikganj, was with you for the last 40 minutes. We should remain safe and sound. Bye.